And for me, it kind of like it gets back to the point, the crux of this sort of like free speech fundamentalism. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that phrase. I've heard it bandied about quite a lot recently. Free speech fundamentalism. That's what this all, like, for me, kind of goes back to. It's the difference between accepting that people should be able to share their thoughts and ideas, but that maybe there might be some restriction or some consequences on those ideas and thoughts and feelings, or being a total simpleton and being like, I should be able to say anything wherever I am, whatever, and nothing can ever happen to me. It is the difference between those two things. It's like Elon Musk is often seen as a sort of, you know, fire-breathing, free speech preacher, isn't he? But I always think that whole, you know, down with censorship and it's cancel culture and, you know, the whole, the solution to offensive speech is more speech, you know, like those ideas, they are not without their nuances. Right. And unfortunately, a huge chunk of people are just irredeemably stupid and cannot comprehend that. Like, it's free speech or it's state-sponsored censorship. Like, it's black and white to them. It's binary choices. But here is the problem, right? Here is, let me sort of color this in for you a little bit. It's like, with free speech, this romantic idea that everybody likes to tap back into, that all started, like, what, a century, 2 centuries ago? I'm showing my complete lack of history knowledge here. Someone will correct me. No, I don't care. When people first came up with the idea of free speech trumping everything, it was kind of like, it was at a time when it was just a fucking town hall. You'd have some idiot stand up and interrupt the meeting, put his hand up, and he would say something moronic, like, I think there should be no black people allowed in this village. And that is a bold statement, right? But remember, this is in 1700s, 1800s. So here he is. He's in a town hall meeting. He holds his hand up. And he says that. He says, I don't think there should be black people allowed in this village. And then someone else might stand up and say, that is perfectly reasonable, right? So you got two guys here kind of agree with each other. Then someone else says, on what basis? Like that, challenging them. And then this guy, the first guy, he comes back and he'll say, they steal all my food and they poached my livestock and they fucked my daughters. I don't know why that had to be there in there. Let's just roll with it. And then, right, so in this town hall, you know, this guy says this, that guy says, well, on what basis? And then this guy says, they steal all my food, they poach my livestock, and they fuck my daughters. But then free speech debate, like, it all kicks in and it would pull it apart, right? In this pre-internet, pre-technology town hall meeting with 50 people, a tribe's worth of people, basically. It would be like, you know, some guy would put his hand up and he'd go, well, hang on, Phil. Hang on just a dingling minute. They're only stealing because nobody will give them jobs. They're only stealing because nobody will employ them to give them money to buy their own food. It's a socio-economic problem, not a defect in their genetic makeup that makes black people more fucking steely. And they poached your livestock because they don't want to steal your food forever. They want to farm their own animals, goddammit. Start a farm. Work hard. Have some dignity. Then the first guy will be like, God damn it, you're right, Randy. Then he comes back in again. And your daughters, well, hell, I'm sorry to have to say this in front of the whole dang town, Phil, but what is it, Randy? Just come out and say it. Get your big boy boots on. Well, hell, Phil. Everyone's been fucking your daughters. The whole damn town's been doing a goddamn conga line from the blacksmiths to the boutique. Hey, everyone. Matter of fact, those black fellas just stopped by, asking for directions, tried to make friends and settle in. Got confused and thought it was some kind of town tradition. They thought it was best to try to integrate. So they shrugged and they fucked your daughters too. God bless them, they were trying to fit in. What? Yeah, it turns out they really are just like us, Phil. So you see, like, in that kind of fucked up setting, you know, free speech debate, you would get to a conclusion. You know? Like, this guy thinks this, that guy thinks that. They debate it aloud, and maybe there's a few questions. But within an hour or two, they reach the end game, right? Or something close to it. It's basically, you know, town hall, debate, 50 people, different opinions, discussions, free speech. You could kind of see how that shit reaches a positive outcome in that setting when free speech was first kind of thought up and romanticized and rolled out, etc., etc. But when you have 1 billion people all screaming at each other at once about a zillion things, and every time Phil pipes up, there's another 100,000 Phils right behind him. Like, you go get him, Phil. Don't take no shit. You gonna let him just fuck girls like that, Phil? I think you should get your 12 gauge. Show these motherfuckers what being an American is all about, Phil. Ain't that right, fellas? And then a, you know, chorus of other Phils all come crashing in. Perfectly choreographed to big him up. All with matching red caps and checkered shirts and cans of Coors Light, and each one has an exhausted, unhappy wife next to him. like, would Phil listen to Randy, whatever the fuck his name was, in that instance? Would he say, God damn it, you're right, Randy? Like, with this echo chamber of 100,000 accounts all egging him on, telling him he's got a point, or that he's being oppressed, or it's the second coming of the QAnon Messiah or whatever, you know? Of course not. And so Phil becomes radicalized and amplified. And that is why the whole free speech fundamentalism shit, free speech above all else, is just fucking flawed. And maybe some people need to spend less time worrying about their right to say anything and more time thinking about their right to occasionally shut the fuck up. I mean...